Hello guys, it's Nim and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to do a renovation. Now, as you probably saw by the lot, if you recognize it, we are in Strangerville. And we are rebuilding the trailer. So in Strangerville there's this lot with this tiny little trailer on there. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to rebuild this into a starter home trailer. It is a limited pack, which is very rare for me because I love building with all the packs that I have. So the only packs that I am using in this game are base game, obviously, Strangerville and Tiny Living. So that are the only 3 packs. And with Tiny Living, it is mainly that I have the residential lot, tiny house. I don't think that I've actually used any Tiny Living furniture as far as I remember. But we'll get into that, like we'll see in the build if I use Tiny Living furniture or not. So if you don't have that, I'm guessing you can still download this lot. It only won't be a tiny house, it will be a normal starter home. So at the moment what you're seeing is me trying to do this awesome skylight, but it was going to interfere with the bathroom inside, and I was like, you know what, I really don't want to make this bathroom any smaller, so I end up just deleting the skylight and I am saving skylights for another build. It is unfortunately not this build. Because just figure it, okay? How awesome would it be if you have like a tiny trailer with a skylight? I feel that it would be so cool because then actually it would look a lot less small. Because this is a very, very, very small build. I think the build is 34 tiles in the end. Oh, see, I used the Tiny Living door. Okay, so I used the door from Tiny Living, but that's about it. Also, the sim that you can see there standing in front of the home, that is actually the sim that will be living in this home as well. Now, the reason I built in Strangerville, because like we all know that Strangerville is awful to build in because the lighting is not very good. But if you've watched my other videos, you might know that I am working on a save file at the moment. And Strangerville, of course, like it belongs with that save file. So the couple of videos that are upcoming will be Strangerville videos, most likely, because I'm building in that world now. So, you know, there's that. Anyway. Also, this is going to be a renovation because I was like, you know, I can rebuild every single lot in The Sims and make my entire like own interpretation of the world and have every home be a different home. But I also thought that it would be nice to have some like points that you recognize. So like this trailer, it's very good. It's very recognizable. I think that's a word. Yes. And obviously the idea of having a trailer is really cool. So there will be a few renovation videos as well. So let me know if you guys like it, because then maybe I can upload them more frequent and I can make more renovation builds. Because personally, I really like making renovations. Just the existing houses of EA and just altering them a tiny bit, also with community lots. I feel like the community lots in The Sims 4 could be a lot better than they actually are right now. I actually rebuilt the Strangerville bar as well, and I have to say, it's good. It's good, like that's my own humble opinion, but I think it's really good. But we're not doing the bar right now, we are doing this tiny trailer. I was actually surprised by how many like items I could stuff into this tiny trailer. We're also gonna make the bathroom a little bit smaller because it didn't work out with the kitchen. And I had so many items that I could use, and of course like I've downloaded a lot of Build CC, which I don't actually use, but then there are the free packs that you can download and you have pretty good casts. And then sometimes it just turns out there are Build CC with that as well. So I have Build CC now, even though I'm not a Build CC person. But who knows, maybe I will use Build CC, because I have the idea of actually building a church, so I downloaded some church-like CC as well, so that will probably be the only build that will have CC. Now obviously, since this is a starter home, the appliances are they're a bit cheap. You can see it, like they're not the nicest cabinet and it's not the nicest stove, not the best fridge. I actually really like the sink. I was not expecting that, but that sink in black and white was actually really good. Now we are going to remove that trash can and there will be a bin outside. So not in the home itself, but like Strangerville, always sunny, so you could just walk outside and throw your trash away there. So that's not really that much of a hassle. Now you see me screwing around with the kitchen because I didn't know how I wanted it. We ended up changing it back again because I felt like, you know what, the kitchen in that little corner is fine. And we are actually going to use, the tiny living desk in that little corner over there, because tiny living has so many great furniture items. You see, and I also used the tiny living bed. Okay, so tiny living, you may actually need that for this build, otherwise there's gonna be a front door missing and a light. Oh, not a light, okay, so front door, a bed and a desk, and I think possibly a chair, but I'm not quite sure. Not a chair, okay, just like those 3 items. Who knows, maybe you can live with that. That is cool. You can like place your own furniture in there, do whatever you want. But if you have tiny living, this entire build will be complete. I'm also not sure, if you don't have a pack, can you download, like can you see the builds on the gallery? I'm not sure. I will see. Oh, and you'll also be missing a toilet. So this bathroom, it is very small, but it is fully functional. I play tested because I wasn't completely sure, but I think by using the tiny living furniture, that your Sims can just like sneak past it and go past everything. But I'm not quite sure if that's it or that's with any other like sink and toilet. They could do that as well, but who cares? It works. Oh, and also like the tiny living bookcase. I end up saying it as like every time I use tiny living, but I love the tiny living furniture. It is so cool. And also I know that people hate a lot on Strangerville, and I don't really like Strangerville mystery. I don't really care that much for gameplay. Like I like doing legacy challenges and stuff like that, but actual solving mysteries, I'm like I'm indifferent about it. I mean, I don't mind doing it, but I'd rather build. But the build options with Strangerville, they are so good. I love the windows, and the doors, they're so cheap, which I think is very, very, very useful. So if you're ever in money need, use cheap doors, cheap windows, so not base game because they're a bit expensive, but you will use like stuff like vampires, tiny living, cats and dogs seasons, and Strangerville. Also, Strangerville for Victorian homes, those windows, good. So going back to this build now, because I'm going off topic, I was actually surprised with how much clutter I was able to fit into this build, and it's still being like a fully functional build. We have 3 counters, 3 cabinets, we have like this garden hose outside, we have a barbecue, we have a TV. We have so many items. And I was actually really surprised by that, because I never ever succeed in like building starter homes that are like well decorated. I'm just surprised by my own like amazement. I don't think that's a good functional sentence. So this is what I really hate. I'm perfectly capable of talking English really well, and then whenever I do a voiceover, I get stressed out about what I need to say. And sometimes I just make these really stupid mistakes, but please don't pay too much attention to that. Like, you get what I want to say, you get the intention. I think that's what's important. Also, this little terrain paint, I think it was so like in place with the entire like terrain outside of my house. I was like, yes, this perfectly fits. And then of course that little green like park in there for you to sit nice and have like some cacti. Also, like, I use debug items as well for this landscaping, so maybe I kind of cheated with that, but I think, you know what, you have debug, why not use it? It's perfectly fine with using it, and that gives you access to the nice cacti, which makes it a little bit more nicer, because some of the plants that are in like the non-debug catalog, they're a bit boring and it can get really repetitive. And I think if you use debug, it actually gives that nice flow of different things about that. Also, like all the plants that I use, I love colors, so this trailer might be a little bit out of the ordinary with like the tree and the excess amount of color in terrain and in landscaping, if you look to the builds that are around it. But once I'll be done with Strangerville, it will be a very like cheerful and happy event. So in a few seconds we are gonna go up to the screenshots. So thank you guys very much for watching, and if you haven't already, like, comment and subscribe, and perhaps share this video with like everyone you know so we can get more like followers on here. Thank you guys very much. Bye!